Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be doing a really expensive dupe, and in this video we're going to show you how to create these eggs for under $10. So I am really excited because the original price of these is $525, and it was a lot of fun creating these, and they look so beautiful in my home. I am certain that you can do it too, so I'm going to show you how. Let's get started. So to get that under $10 look, one of the main things that I want you to keep in mind is that I did buy these eggs in bulk last year following the Easter holiday from Michael's. If you were able to get in on that deal and you got those eggs, I'm so excited because this is how we're going to get that really awesome price tag. If not, then the best way to get the cheapest deal on this is going to be probably to wait until after the holiday again, but still totally worth the wait because these items are going to be something that you can keep in your home for many years to come. I got these wooden eggs in both the regular solid wooden egg style as well as the cutout boxes, and so today we're going to be using the ones that are cutout boxes. I'm going to go ahead and start with a demonstration on the royal blue egg, and I find this one to be particularly beautiful. I went ahead and added paint to this blue, but I added some black to that blue just to give it that really deep midnight blue hue. And then over top of that we're going to add some gold paint. This variety is a really nice brand, and you'll see me use this throughout the video. On the top of the egg they have this nice pattern, and on the bottom of the egg they just add some simple stripes. One of the things that I recommend when adding stripes to the egg is that you kind of keep your hand steady and you move the egg as opposed to your hand, and that's going to help you get that line a little bit straighter when you're freehand painting something. Next, to add the bands to this egg, I actually found something that's kind of unique. Have you guys ever seen those plastic retractable tape measures? Well, mine broke recently, and when I opened it, it had this metal that was coiled up inside that I just went ahead and recycled for this project because it was just a perfect thickness. And so I cut that metal and I wrapped it around my eggs and just sized that to be perfect. Of course, if you can't find some scrap metal like this around your home, you can also just buy this at the craft store in the jewelry section. If that's the case, I would try to get it in gold. For me, I actually put a little bit of gold paint on mine just to give it that gold luster appearance as it is on the sample. I'm then going to add a couple of gold findings that I got from Hobby Lobby. On top I added this gold disc after I removed the fastener, and these are just little charms that I'm going to repurpose for a different way. And these gold toppers as well as this gold bead, I'm just going to stack them to create this top look on the egg. And one thing to keep in mind, at Hobby Lobby their metal things go on sale 50% off every other week. So of course I waited till these were 50% off and got a good deal. I then added some of these legs. Honestly, I just add a little bit of gold paint to make sure that all of those items match. And lastly, to embellish that egg with that eagle on the front, it's just again another charm, and not exactly the same, but I think it really has a similar impact and effect once it's all completed and put together, and I'm really in love with the way that this turned out. And obviously it's also quite beautiful that it's a functional egg as well. After adding a little bit of gloss coating to this egg, you can see that that makes the egg really shiny and beautiful, as if it was also a marble egg. And again, I think for the savings that we got on these eggs, the result is just beautiful. Now for the green egg, I used a lot of hand painting techniques on this one as well. Some tips that I can give you on painting an egg, again, is that trying to move the egg in addition to your hand is a good way to stabilize and draw lines. Making sure that your paintbrush is thin enough for the line that you're creating, and even just moving in small, simple strokes to create a clean and crisp line, and putting multiple layers on were all things that I found to give me a good result in the end. I accidentally stumbled across a really interesting way of creating some metal rings on this one here, where I actually had a little bit too much paint in my dish, and the next day when I went back and I pulled off my acrylic paint from my tray, it was very thick and moldable and pliable, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna thin that out and stretch that out and cut it and use that as the metal wrappings on this egg, and it really turned out to be a good solution for wrapping around and creating that look, and it definitely looks just as nice as the other metal that I used. And what a savings, right? That's basically free. I took that little honeybee charm and added a little bit of gold paint to it, again waiting till that was 50% off. Also adding a little bit more of those metal findings to the top of this egg with another gold bead. And used also acrylic paint to wrap around wire to create the legs even for this piece. And so I got really creative with the acrylic skins, they're called, in creating this piece, and really finding some amazing savings by doing that. Lastly, I did the same thing by squirting a piece of that paint in a circle, because this line of paint dries in a perfectly round cylinder, and so I ended up wrapping that around the bottom. And again, I have a really nice representation of this beautiful green Fabergé type of egg. Now moving into the red egg, this is for those of you who have a little bit more of a difficult time with painting straight lines. This one has a lot of gold lines on it, and so what I decided to do instead was try to use gold wire, so very thin gold wire that's barely even noticeable that it's been added to it versus painted on. And so what I did is I went along and added these pieces of gold wire the entire way around and crisscrossed them. And the nice thing about adding the wire to it instead of painting it is that you can actually lift that up and move it over as you're going along in case you find that you need to adjust that wire. And so since I was using hot glue, when you want to adjust it or make any changes, you just put your hot glue gun over where you added the glue originally, and that'll lift right off as that melts. And so it's a really adjustable and easy way to create this crisscrossing texture the entire way around the egg, and also forgiving way. And then after all of that is in place, I went ahead and added the middle portion to that. Now, if you want to make this sure your egg is usable, after you secure this egg in the center with this, I used actually 2 layers. So I used the paper tape as well as the metal wire, the thick metal wire around that band. And again, that metal wire was upcycled from one of those plastic retractable tape measures that was broken. So to make sure this was still usable, you would want to make sure to cut that wire in the center after you had that adhered with those central pieces in place. And so for me, it wasn't really necessary, and so I just left this one alone and have the appearance as if it's functional. When I'm wrapping those bands around the center, I want to make sure that I actually end them in the front of the egg, and so that way I can cover those up with the charm. I then added some of the silver dots to every one of the junctions. I also used one of the metal wires to make a ring across the top, in addition to painting some circle on the top as well as a thicker ring. And then the metal findings in the end, I added the top as well as these little table card holders that I had for the bottom to hold of the legs. And I think that the result is just quite beautiful. So guys, you'll have to let me know what you think about the result of these eggs and which one is your favorite. I'm partial to the blue one, but I think together they are such a stunning piece that I'm really excited that I tried this out. And of course, you know, the original from this wonderful luxury brand Scully & Scully is quite stunning, but for those of us who just like to have a little bit of luxury for less, this is just a really fun option, and obviously something that you create, so that makes it even better. I had a lot of fun today, guys. I hope to bring you some more DIY Easter egg videos this spring. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.